It's another day. You woke up and checked your calendar. Your day is filled with lots of meetings and you have deadline to meet. In all of this, you want to make sure you have healthy food on your table. You have to get your kids ready, you have to take them for the activities, you have to pack their lunches, have dinner, and all of this chaos. How do you make sure that you have enough vitamins, minerals, protein, fiber, carbs, and everything that you need to take you throughout the day? Well, today's guest is exactly going to cover same issues that we all face in our day-to-day life. So let's welcome Danielle Reid. Danielle, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. I'm so happy to be here.
I'm very happy to have you here as well. I'm sure our guests are very excited to hear more about yourself and what you do. And I myself, I'm very excited too. This is one of my favorite topic to talk about. So Danielle, let us know more about yourself. What do you do?
Okay, so I'm Danielle Reid, clinical nutritionist and health coach, and I founded Restore and Revive Wellness about 2 years ago. I am a clinical nutritionist, but I work from a very holistic perspective, right? And when I say holistic, all that means is whole person. So we're thinking about individuals and thinking about their stress levels when they're sleeping, what their food looks like, how trauma has played a role in how they may have developed as a child, right into how that impacts them now as an adult. So there's a lot of different pieces that go into what I do from the perspective of figuring out the person's health, but then also figuring out how we fit getting health into their life. So what their lifestyle looks like already and what their diet looks like already, and then how we can make small tweaks to improve that to keep it sustainable, to keep it something that they can do on a daily basis. I have a very strong belief that you have to be able to do nutrition on your hardest day.
Right.
Because it is challenging.
Right.
We are in a world now where we are constantly under pressure to look a certain way and do a certain amount of work and work as many hours as possible and still raise our children and still look after ourselves,
Yeah.
The amount of things that you have to do now for self-care too, which is like you have to go in a sauna and you have to fast and you have to go in a cold plunge and all these other things that we're trying to fit into our life because the social media gurus helped us.
Right.
And I want to simplify the process of health as much as possible so that you can fit it into your life.
Right.
And that comes to me, pardon the pun, but organically.
Right.
Because
Yeah.
I had, my whole life I had issues with food. I grew up in a home that didn't feel particularly supported. I was constantly criticized for wanting food and wanting to eat and being told at 11 and 12 years old if I just lost a few pounds I'd have moral waste and things like that. I've been through bulimia. I've done every diet pill under the sun. I've tried every diet.
Oh wow.
And all of this happened right up until my mid-30s. And I'm 46 now. So it's only been the last 10 years out of my life
Yeah.
that I've really understood how the body uses food and why it is important to eat, and been able to put that into my life because it's such a mixed message
Correct.
at the moment of don't eat, be in a calorie deficit, you should do fasting, this, that and the other, and then being told, but you need to eat healthily.
Yeah.
It's like, well, what even is health anymore?
Right.
When I got into nutrition, it was actually because my children were sick.
Okay.
I had no plans of being an entrepreneur or starting a business. I had, my daughter was born in 2010 and she could not stop vomiting constantly. And I'm not talking the little bit of spit up that every baby experiences. I'm talking I was being soaked through to the bone 7-8 times a day.
No.
And so at 4 weeks, she was put on her first set of medication because she would literally scream for 24 hours. There was none of this 2 hours of colic. It was 24 hours a day. And the only way that I could keep her settled was held up like this.
Wow. How old was she at that time?
She'd been about 4 weeks. So this started when she was around 10 days old
Oh no.
and went through till she was, well, until she was 2.5, really, was when she was finally more settled, but that was under medications.
Okay.
So they started messing around with medications when she was 4 weeks. She went from just baby Gaviscon, which I don't know if Gaviscon's a thing here, but in the UK where she was born, I guess it's the same as Tums.
Okay.
That's what they started with, and they told me she had gastroesophageal reflux disease, which is essentially where the esophagus hasn't, for her, developed properly.
Right.
So then she wasn't keeping milk down. It was just coming back up.
Oh, okay.
And it was making her uncomfortable as well, which is why she was screaming in bright red.
Of course. Oh my God.
She was in pain. And I remember a doctor saying to me, well, she doesn't know any different. She knows it hurts. She knows she's not comfortable. This cannot possibly be normal.
Yeah.
So she was put on a couple of other medications and we got her settled. And at the age of a year, we finally saw an actual pediatrician,
Right.
just a regular doctor, and then got referred to gastroenterologist at Harley Street in London, England, which is one of the most well-renowned places to see a doctor. And yeah, she was put on a different medication. People will probably know that medication. It's called pantoprazole. It's a proton pump inhibitor, and it's given to people who have reflux or heartburn.
Oh, okay.
So she was put on that, and I was basically told that she would be on this medication for the rest of her life.
Wow.
And then when my son was born almost 3 years later, same thing but worse. Way worse.
Oh, really? Yeah.
So I knew within 4 days, I was like, oh my God, here we go again.
Oh my Lord. Yeah.
So took him to the doctor, and the doctor was like, he's fine, I can't see anything wrong with him. And because with private healthcare in the UK, you can push yourself forward. So I was just like, no, just refer me. I have private.
Yeah.
So saw the same gastroenterologist, and after 4 weeks of trying to medicate him and literally nothing making any difference whatsoever, he asked me if I was still feeding him myself. And I said, well, I am, but I don't know if I can continue. This is insane. Like everything I feed him, it just comes right back up.
Right.
Life was hell. It was awful.
Oh my God.
And so he gave me a formula to use, but it wasn't a standard formula. It was designed specifically for pediatric
Okay.
issues, and it was it was called Neocate, and I can't remember what it was actually for now. It's all a bit of a haze. But essentially, it had nothing in it that would flare him up in it, and so in my brain foggy mind, I just went, okay, if it's going to work, and
Right.
it did. So about 8 months, I guess my brain started to come back online, and I was like, okay, so why did this milk
Yeah.
make a difference?
For both
And
children, basically.
yeah. And I was like, so there's a connection here between food
Right.
and the condition.
What you're eating and how
Yeah.
it's eaten. Yeah.
And the doctor's like, no, there's no connection. I'm like, that can't be true. That cannot be the case. So I started doing the whole Dr. Google thing.
Yeah.
We got referred to an allergist in Harley Street, and she confirmed that he had allergies to milk, egg, wheat, soy, and oats. And at the time, we were vegetarian. So it was very challenging to feed him, but it made the connection for me. And so I started doing the Dr. Google research and realized very quickly that that wasn't going to get me anywhere,
Right.
and that I needed to understand how the human body works,
Right.
how it develops, and
Wow.
how nutrients impact it. And it was during that time that I was like, wow, this is incredible. All these 30 years that I have been told that I shouldn't be eating is exactly the wrong
It's the opposite.
advice. It's the opposite.
Wow.
So Sebastian was born when I was 33. And at 38, I was really struggling with my own health. I was doing my degree, but I had brain fog. I was massively overweight. I say massively. For me, I felt like I was. Maybe other people didn't think so. I was overweight, But I had brain fog, and I had joint pain, and I had depression, and I had anxiety.
Anything they talk about.
And I was miserable. My life,
Right.
I just didn't feel like it was worth it.
Right.
And I'd been to see a nutritionist. I started seeing an amazing nutritionist in Bermuda. And she taught me, like I saw her individually, but then she did these 6-week courses where she actually taught you what food was actually doing in the body. So this was before I started my degree.
Right.
And things had changed for me. My health had gotten a little better, but not to the point that I needed it to. And it was when I was 38 that I was diagnosed with Hashimoto's thyroiditis.
Okay.
So I got my first autoimmune condition when I was 10. I have alopecia areata, so I don't have any of my own hair. And then when I was 38, I got the Hashimoto's diagnosis and then celiac shortly after. So I've got 3 autoimmune conditions that I manage without medication. I don't have any medication. And Hashimoto's is probably the most impactful one in terms of daily life.
Right.
Because not having any hair, I just put a hair piece on and,
Right.
as traumatic as it was at 10 years old, it's something I've just learned to live with and empowers me, I guess. The celiac, you just give up gluten, which I'd already pretty much given up. With Hashimoto's, it was affecting my life. It was affecting my daily life. I couldn't parent my children. I couldn't do my studies because I just didn't have enough energy to get through the day. I didn't have the brain power to focus on my studies.
Yeah.
So the nutritionist I was seeing at the time sent me to what's called a functional medicine doctor. So she was an MD. She'd done all of her MD training, but then had gone on and carried on to do functional medicine. And
Right.
it was interesting because at the time, the degree that I was studying, it was from a functional medicine perspective.
Right.
So I'd heard of it
Right.
because I was studying it. But I went to see her and she ran so many tests on me that would not be tested in standard Western medicine. So functional medicine testing. And I had a Hashimoto's, which was the first diagnosis. And what Hashimoto's is, it's an autoimmune condition where the immune system has mistaken the thyroid for a pathogen bacteria, but it's basically your immune system, every time you're inflamed, attacks your thyroid.
Okay.
Your thyroid function is your metabolism, essentially.
Right.
So it affects everything because it affects how nutrients get to cells as well.
Correct. Yeah.
So I was dealing with that, but I also had high levels of metals in my blood, arsenic and
Oh wow.
what's the other one? Mercury, arsenic and mercury in my blood.
Yeah.
I was deficient in omega-3, which was shocking because all we'd eaten for the past
Fish.
7 years was fish.
Yeah.
We'd gone from vegetarian to pescatarian over the last 4 years because we just didn't feel like we were getting enough.
Yeah.
So I was having fish like every day.
And then how can you have fish? I know. Wow.
I had dysbiosis in my microbiome, so I didn't have the right bacterias in my microbiome. So it was like all of this stuff going on, and they were like, "Did you know before you had Hashimoto's?" I was like, "No."
Yeah.
They told me my thyroid was fine. And it's because the biomarkers that we use in functional medicine are a lot tighter. We're looking for optimal versus just keep you alive. So it meant then the functional medicine doctor was like, "Come and see our nutritionist." And I was like, "Well, I'm studying it. I'm doing it. I think I got it."
Yeah, I got it.
But it enabled me to do specific research, right? And when I say research, I'm talking like going through the literature on PubMed and the different scientific databases and figuring out what might and might not work. And I did an insane elimination diet, but after 4 days of doing it, I was like, "Oh, I feel a bit happier." And after 2 weeks, the brain fog cleared up.
Oh, wow.
And the depression disappeared and the anxiety reduced. And I was like, "Oh my God,
Oh, wow.
this is unbelievable." I started to feel joyful. I started wanting to make food. I started wanting to play with my kids rather than just tolerating.
Yeah.
And study was becoming easier. And by the end of the 4 weeks, I was like, "Is this how everybody always feels because I've never felt like this in my life. And I really hadn't. When I look at like my entire life, I don't think I was ever particularly.
I'm sure so many people can relate to that.
Yeah. And some of that is mismessaging.
Right.
Because the way we eat isn't supportive
Right.
of the human body and the way that it works. So essentially because of all of that, when I finished I was halfway through my degree when I was just like, I guess like I'm going to go into like autoimmune nutrition or something. And it's evolved from there. I do have autoimmune clients for sure, but they're not the only ones that I have. And my point of entry seems to be for a lot of people, I have no energy and I've gained weight unexpectedly. And
Right.
I'm not sure how to feed myself is a lot of my clients. That's where
Right.
they come in and they don't realize
Yeah.
when they come to me how complex their cases are. So it's only when I've got them in front of me and I'm figuring it out,
Yeah.
I can see, there's a lot of complexity here that we're going to need to figure out.
Wow.
So through a process of clinical analysis and functional testing, I get to the root cause of what is causing issues in the first place, rather than band-aiding it.
Correct. Yeah.
Rather
That's
than
so
say,
important. Yeah.
rather than say, take this magnesium supplement or take collagen or whatever the
Yeah.
latest trend
Which
is.
people do most of the time.
People jump on the bandwagon for thinking it will fix them.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, no, we need to find out what's wrong first.
Right.
And then we work to get your health back from there. And some people come to me and they've got really good foundational nutrition already in place.
Right.
And they're still struggling. And it's because for years their nutrition wasn't in place.
Oh, okay.
So particularly things like diverticulitis, I'm on client with that right now, and her gut is inflamed.
Right.
And I look at her diet and I'm like, well, you actually eat really well. She said, well, I started that 2 years ago. So the damage has already been being done for years. This woman's in her 60s. Like there's a lot of damage that can be done over time. But what I find incredible about the human body is how fast it adapts when it gets what it does need. When you take out the things that are causing the issue in the first place, and that's not necessarily always food, when you take those things out and you get the foundations right and then you give it eggs it can heal with, it adapts so fast because it's finally getting the right messages.
Right. Yeah.
And every mouthful that you have, you can feed disease or you can feed health.
Right. Yeah.
But I also think it's important to recognize that people have lives and they have certain things that they want to do in their life.
Yeah.
And it has to fit for that person because
Correct.
if you get too restrictive,
Yeah.
then
It
all
can be
falls out.
temporary.
Yeah. And I think that to make it sustainable, you have to have the pieces of joy around food.
Right.
I think we've lost touch
Yeah.
with how important food is. We're trying to fit it in
Yeah.
rather than making it an event.
Right.
And I'm the same way. Like, it's not like every single meal is an event
Yeah.
for me either. Like, I
Yeah.
have 2 children and a business to run,
Of course.
and no partner. So it's hard for me too. But I still know that it is the foundation of everything.
Right. Yeah.
And the thing that gets missed without nutrition, without feeding yourself, you're not going to get anything out of the body.
100%.
Like I get people who have been in therapy for years, and I love therapy. I think therapy is amazing. I think it's very necessary, even if it's just for maintenance. I believe in therapy. I think psychotherapists and MSWs, etc., do amazing work, and I've had plenty of it myself. And I strongly believe that trauma plays a role in health. But I would also say that you can't make the neurotransmitters that you need to regulate your mental health without the nutrients to build them in the
It
first.
goes hand in hand. They get it together.
Yeah. If you don't, like, I've had people who have come to me and be like, I have been in therapy for 5 years
Yeah.
and it hasn't made any difference
Yeah.
until I've seen you as well,
Right.
because I didn't
gives you
realize I was
confidence.
nutrient
Yeah.
deficient.
Yeah.
And I see nutrient deficiency all the time.
Right. And the brain fog that you mentioned about, right? I mean, so many people, they go through the therapy, they might have brain fog. They don't know, right? They really don't know. And how many times you even go for those kind of checkups? You barely do, unless you encourage yourself. And with a lot of respect to healthcare system, we know for some of the problems we can't even get right treatment or even diagnosed on time. Right? So you don't even realize you have these kind of problems in you,
Yeah.
which are not visible outside. And then how do you even fix them? You don't know the problem. You can't find
You
out.
can't, but what I do believe is that all the symptoms that we experience, that we beat ourselves up for having. So we get angry with our body, right?
Yeah.
People are so disassociated from their body that they treat it like it's the worst thing that ever happened to them.
It's probably not satisfactory to a lot of people.
Yeah.
Because you want to fit into the zero stars and,
But it's frustrating for me now. Like, I didn't know this
Yeah.
10, 12 years ago. But, people are like, oh, I can't do this, and I've got no energy, and I'm overweight, or I've got brain fog, and they're blaming their body for this. When actually they should look at their body as signs and symptoms. They should look at it as a small child that's trying to get their attention. And if you're getting brain fog, why? Because the body's trying to tell you something. The body is saying, I'm deficient.
Right.
I need you to give me something.
What are the main deficiencies when we talk about brain?
The biggest ones that I see are probably B12, vitamin D, iron. They come in a lot. I see those are the main ones that are tested when you go to a doctor.
Right.
They don't test an awful lot of nutrients
Right.
in blood tests that I've seen. When people come to, and people do, they come to me with their doctor's reports, and I look at them and I'm like, well, this hasn't been checked, and this hasn't been checked, and this hasn't been checked.
Oh, wow.
And the reason that they check those particular ones is because they are kind of life or death. We know that vitamin D is hugely impactful. Great. Vitamin D is not actually a vitamin, it's a hormone.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah. So it's not used the same way as vitamins, and we create that from the sun, make it endogenously. So
We barely get sun anyways.
we barely get sun. Well, you get more than England.
Okay. But less than
Beautiful
less than
out there.
Asia.
But in those winter months when it's snowing,
Yeah.
even if the sun is out, you're not really getting anything from it because you're covered from head to toe.
You don't go like
You're
sun.
not going out for a walk
That-
in a blizzard.
yeah.
So like I see vitamin D deficiencies a lot and B12 deficiencies a lot. And what's interesting so B12 is not only an energy molecule, it's also important for detoxification.
Okay.
So it plays a role in your liver actually clearing junk out, essentially.
Right.
And so because it's got more than one job,
Uh-huh.
I often see that we're deficient in it, and a lot of the time it's coming from your vegetables, and people aren't eating enough vegetables. I mean, it's in red meat as well, but
Yeah, I was about to say red meat because what I heard, I mean, again, there's so much out there, right? So what I knew, like red meat plays major role for B12, like, to having B12, right? I mean, if you are vegetarian, which I am, you are always deficit with B12 or iron. And most people that I know, they are always like that. Yeah. So it has to do with vegetables or red meat or both.
it's hard. Thinking about it, I can't think of a vegetable off the top of my head that has B12. Like when I was vegetarian, I used to use nutritional yeast because that's got B12 in it.
Yeah.
It is definitely harder. But the biggest thing that I see, even with people who do eat meat, struggling with B12 deficiency, is potentially because they're on some kind of PPI, the pantoprazole that I mentioned that my children were on. It reduces stomach acid.
Right.
And when you don't have enough stomach acid, you actually can't break down the food into its nutrient particles properly. It makes it less efficient. Digestion gets less efficient, so then you don't get as much B12 and you're not absorbing as much B12.
Right.
So it's not necessarily just about consumption, it's about
The
when you're
combination.
able to absorb
Yeah.
it in the first place. Is it getting broken down into its smallest molecule and
Correct.
being reabsorbed into the blood so that it can actually be used effectively? I would say that most of the people that I see are low in something would be iron, vitamin D, and B12. They're my biggest.
That's common. What about omega-8?
Yeah.
Magnesium is so much out there. Oh my
I
gosh.
mean, they don't test generally test omega-3
Yeah.
and magnesium, things like that
Right.
in the blood test results that I see. I tend to feel like it's not going to... A test isn't always going to help me with what is not always going to make a difference to the protocols I put out there. If I can see somebody's not eating enough of something to get what they need, I'm just going to increase that amount of food, because the way that the body uses it, there's very few of them that you could overconsume when we look at whole foods.
Right.
You can definitely overconsume protein, but a lot of people are under eating protein. That's the one thing I see.
Protein, oh my gosh, yeah.
It's hard, and everybody needs a different amount as well. So
Right.
you're getting told you need this many grams of protein. Well, I wouldn't need the same amount of protein as a 6'2", 200-pound dude.
Right.
Like, you can't tell me that that's how much protein I need.
I know.
Because it's not comparable, and then your protein needs might go up if you're doing strength training,
Right,
Because
yeah.
protein rebuilds muscle, and when you strength train, you're slightly breaking muscle. Essentially, you're breaking the fibers, and they need to rebuild. And the thing with protein is that it's actually the building blocks. There are building blocks of our cells.
Okay.
So there are 20 amino acids that make up proteins.
Okay.
9 of those are considered essential.
Okay.
And the reason for that is you've got the 11 that the body can actually make itself from other nutrients, but then there's 9 amino acids that the body can't make, and we have to consume those. The easiest way to consume them is meat, eggs, dairy, and such,
Right.
because those are what we consider complete proteins. They are what we know have all 9 of the essential amino acids. It's doable for a vegetarian. It's just more about mixing those vegetarian proteins to make sure you're getting enough of each of the categories. But if you're not getting enough protein, we can't store protein
Right.
in the body. You have to consume it.
It's like rotation type of thing. You
Yeah.
inhale, you take it out with your
Can't,
yeah.
like you have to consume it because we can't store it, versus carbohydrates, which we can store.
Right. It stays in your body longer.
It stays in your body.
Yeah.
We have, well, glycogen is stored as glycogen in the liver. That's carbohydrates, can be stored as glycogen in the liver. And then once the liver is full, then it starts to turn into fat tissue. That's why everybody's gone cut carbs.
Low carbs, no carbs.
The problem with that information is then carbohydrates are a precursor for serotonin, so that's your relaxant hormone. That's like the hormone that helps you sleep, that makes you feel calm.
Yeah.
So if you're irritable, then
You don't.
you could maybe not be having enough carbohydrates.
Yeah.
And actually 20% of your carbohydrate or glucose intake, which is what carbohydrates are, is actually taken up by the brain, just so the brain can function.
Oh wow. So they are very important for your brain function.
Yes. So when we're saying cut carbs and people are cutting carbs down to 0, it's like,
How
well,
can you cope up with your
how are you going to function? Because your brain is what functions.
how can you make right decisions in your life? Maybe you're not.
But you're not, but you're also getting sick
Yeah.
because the body doesn't have the nutrients it needs to actually function.
Right. Oh wow.
So I hate the idea of demonizing any kind of whole food,
Right.
because demonizing a whole food means demonizing certain food groups. Mainly the ones that have got the really bad press of fats and carbs. Or you need both of those, but it's the types. It's more nuanced than people have made it out to be.
Right.
So when you're thinking about carbohydrates, it's refined versus complex. A refined carbohydrate is like white sugar, white bread, white pasta, white rice, anything that's been stripped of all of its nutrients, essentially. Any sugar that's going into a candy bar, like a Mars bar or a Snickers bar or whatever, Reese's Pieces, those kinds of things, that's going to be what's considered a refined carbohydrate.
Right.
And then you've got complex carbohydrates like potato, whole grain bread, whole wheat pasta, things like that. The acorn squashes, the butternut squashes, the heavy root vegetables, quinoa. They've got complex carbohydrates in them, and they've got actual nutrients in.
Right.
They've got fiber. They've got various vitamins and minerals in them. So have what's called micronutrients as well. That's what makes them more complex.
Right.
So that's why they're called complex carbohydrates.
Right.
So what we really want to be looking for is some kind of carbohydrates,
Right.
but avoiding the refined carbohydrates for the most part. Like you can have a treat.
Right.
But there are also healthier, cleaner versions
Okay.
of these treats, right? If I want a peanut butter cup, am I going to buy the Reese's Pieces or am I going to buy the Justin's brand? I'm not sponsored by any of these. But I would buy the better quality brand.
Right.
So it's looking at the ingredients on the package.
Yeah.
Like the petrol.
Yes. Premium car, premium gas.
Yeah, how do you want your body to run?
Yeah.
I think that's the thing, is that we forget that all food creates fuel for us in different ways. All has different mechanisms, and it's all important. So fats are for hormones and brain health, and you actually need cholesterol. All of your sex hormones are built from cholesterol. So everybody's been told like cholesterol is really bad for you.
Okay.
And actually that cholesterol is a big umbrella. There are different types of cholesterol. There's there's LDL, there's HDL, and you need a ratio
Oh, wow.
of it.
So you should have cholesterol, some level.
Yep, at some level. But we're overcomplicating it because not everybody needs to know all this stuff.
I know.
Just need to eat healthily, but because there's so much information out there, everybody's confused.
Right.
So I do tend to educate around how the body works, because I believe in autonomy. So you're far more likely to make a better choice for your health if you know the reasons why you're making that choice. Like everybody else, I grew up being told, eat your vegetables, they're good for you.
All right.
That's not enough information.
All right.
Like, I'm a curious person. I need to know the reasons it's good for me.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, oh, because there's micronutrients in it, and micronutrients help you break down macronutrients. That's the basis. Well, I mean, there's many other reasons.
Right.
But, when you know that micronutrients help you break down macronutrients, that's enough for me to put vegetables on my plate.
Right.
When you know about blood sugar balance and how that's going to impact your day, and the reason it's going to impact your day, you're far more likely to keep that sustainably going than you were if you're just told don't eat junk food because it's bad for you. Like if I tell you that when you eat a complex carbohydrate with a protein, it slows down the release of sugar into your blood so that it can be used for steady energy.
All right.
Versus if you have a refined carbohydrate that causes a blood sugar spike
Right.
and then a
Drop.
energy drop
Yeah.
very quickly, and then you look for something else and it causes another energy spike,
Yeah.
and eventually can lead to insulin resistance.
Yeah.
You're far more inclined to go, oh, well, what do I want? Do I want steady energy throughout the day?
Right.
Or do I want to have something that's going to give me loads of energy for half an hour
Yeah.
and then crash below baseline?
Right. But how do you manage all of this? Especially when you have so much to entrepreneur like yourself, you children, and you're running your business, and be everywhere timely, look certain way, maybe go to gym. Like there's so much on your plate, and then how do you really in your routine? How do you balance all of this? What's the right tip?
I think, okay, well, I can certainly give you tips. I think for me, though, the key thing is when I do let it go, I feel it.
Okay.
I can't do the things I want to do without the nutrition.
That's important, basically, the priority.
The priority is
Right.
nutrition always.
Of course.
Because that's what allows me to do my job and allows me to be there for my kids.
Yeah.
Are there things that I do drop? Absolutely. My house is not that clean.
Say choose kitchen or
Yeah. Would I rather have a clean house or would I rather have a nourished body?
Right.
And I'll choose nourished body every time.
right.
So we all have too many things. We just have to choose what the priorities are.
Yeah.
I heard a CEO once say that we have plastic balls and we have glass balls, and they're all in each category, right? So you've got your kids and you've got your potentially a partner, and then you've got your work as well. And in the category of your work, you're going to have some glass balls and some plastic balls. And then in your kids, you're going to have some glass and some plastic. And you've got to just keep hold of glass ones and let the plastic ones drop.
Correct.
So it's about finding what those the most important things are within those categories. And as much as I want a clean home and nice environment, and it's not horrendous, but does it get cleaned as much as it would have done if I wasn't doing this? No.
Right.
But when it comes to actual nutrition tips, I am the world's worst for meal prep. I hate meal prep. I do not want to
Yeah, but
spend my
another
Sunday
thing.
afternoon.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Meal prep is so.
Especially this time of year. Who wants to spend their Sunday afternoon when it
I
looks
know.
like this?
Yeah.
Standing in the kitchen.
For 4-5 hours.
Cooking for 5 hours.
Yeah.
No thanks. So what I do instead is when I cook a meal, is I always double or triple it, depending on whether the kids are home.
Yes, it works for
or
next
not.
day.
Yeah, so it's kind of like meal prepping, but not.
Not.
So
Yeah.
like it's dinner time, and I'm going to cook myself some chicken. Am I going to cook one chicken thigh, 2 chicken thighs, or like 1 chicken breast? I'm going to do a whole tray.
Right.
And I'm going to stick some spices on them. And I usually actually use a local company called Haley's Magic Spice, because her spices make food taste amazing.
They're good as
and
well,
they're
right?
really healthy too.
Yeah.
No thinners in it. And I believe they grind them all themselves. But yeah, so I'll like cook a whole tray of chicken. And if I'm standing with a knife and a chopping board and vegetables, I'm going to
Chop more.
the vegetables.
Chop more.
Just chop extra.
I know.
You're already there. You're already making the
That's
best.
exactly what I do, yeah.
Spend another 5-10 minutes.
Yeah. So
And then you can still.
go.
So I don't start meal prepping on a Sunday until 5 o'clock. When
I know.
I'm
There is no way I can do that too, yeah.
There are a couple of things I always do. So if I'm in the kitchen, I can do multiple things at once, right? If I'm putting the oven on, I might as well cook extra things. But I also will always boil a kettle of water. The Brits are really good for this. We don't boil our water on the top of the stove.
No.
We boil it first in the kettle because it's way faster, and then we pour the hot water
Yeah.
into the pan. So when people don't do that here, I'm like, why don't you just boil the kettle?
That's called multitasking,
Yeah.
being productive.
Yes, very productive. So, but then I'll boil the kettle and I'll put 12 eggs in a saucepan.
Yeah.
And I'll pour a kettle of water over it and I'll stick a timer on. And while I'm chopping vegetables, there's eggs being cooked.
Yeah.
Right? And then doing 12 eggs, that's enough for 6 days, usually, depending on who's in the house. And then, like, as soon as I'm done with the eggs, I'll put quinoa in the same saucepan and then pour hot water over the quinoa and cook the quinoa as well. So I've always got a base of quinoa. So I've got my complex carbohydrate grain already. Well, it's not really a grain, it's a seed actually, but quinoa is a carbohydrate and a protein.
Yeah.
It's one of the very few complete proteins in the vegetarian world. So yeah, if you're vegetarian, get your quinoa in. So I've always got quinoa as a base. I've always got boiled eggs, whether that be used as a snack or the protein of a meal. I usually mix up my flatbread mix, which is super easy. It's equal parts almond flour, tapioca, starch, and water.
Okay.
And you cook it like a pancake, and it makes a really good flatbread.
Okay.
So I always have that mixed up and ready to go. And then it's usually like meat and vegetables is what I have ready to go. But what I think makes food more interesting is dressings.
So have some flavors.
So some flavour.
Right.
And I do use herbs and spices on meat and vegetables when I
Correct.
cook them. My kids make fun of me because I would never not have turmeric in the house.
Right.
And they're like, it doesn't even have that much flavour. I'm like, no, but it's super anti-inflammatory. like you put that with oil and black pepper, then you've got anti-inflammatory.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I've usually got some spices or herbs on whatever I'm cooking, whether that be vegetables or meat. But yeah, dressings make a big difference. And if you think about cuisine, all the different cuisines, we're all using similar base things, right? We're all using meat, we're all using vegetables, we're all using grains. It's the way that we cook them
Yeah.
and the sauces that we use that make them different.
So where you buy from, or are they
More like,
packaged?
I don't want to say British cuisine because we don't really have one. I've discovered, having not lived there for a while. But let's say German cuisine would be different to Chinese.
Correct, yeah.
So, but they're coming from the same base ingredients. You've got sausage and sauerkraut, which is very popular in Germany.
Right.
That's cabbage
Yeah.
in salt and water.
Yeah.
Is the sauerkraut, and then the sausage is pork. Well, they use pork in China.
Okay, yeah.
But they just use it in a different way.
Yeah.
And they'll use cabbage, but in a different way. And they use a different sauce. So it's just the flavor palettes
Right.
that you change. So I tend to I make things different by using sauces.
Right.
And I make my own because then I trust the ingredients that have gone in it. And a lot of the store-bought ones, unfortunately, are, or can be, I should say, as a scientist, pro-inflammatory. So I'm always looking at what's the least inflammatory
Right.
possible thing.
That is so important.
Yeah, and there's arguments in the literature over vegetable and seed oils at the moment, but I think the basic understanding is that seed oils can cause inflammation.
Can cause?
Yeah,
Seed oils?
seed oils. So like canola oil,
Yeah.
vegetable oils, things like that,
Yeah.
they can actually cause inflammation.
Wow.
So I would tend to avoid cooking with those.
Right.
So I would cook with avocado oil or coconut oil is usually the ones I use for higher heats. So I was thinking about things like that because then we're not demonizing the food, but we might be thinking about the source.
Right. I mean, what type
So
you're using?
oil.
You're using
if you say
oil.
don't use oil
Yeah.
for anything.
Yeah.
But actually, it's not oil, the big umbrella. It's
Yes.
which kinds of oil.
Correct.
And it's like when for a long time they said red meat is unhealthy.
Yeah.
Well, if you buy beef from a cow that has been raised industrially, eating corn silage, being given growth hormone and antibiotics and living in close quarters, then that might be pro-inflammatory because it's higher in omega-6.
Right.
But when you eat beef from a cow that has lived out on a field and is eating grass all day, every day, and has lots of space to roam, that's actually higher in omega-3. Omega-3 is anti-inflammatory and omega-6 is pro-inflammatory. And we need both of them. The body needs omega-3 for anti-inflammatory and it needs omega-6 to be pro-inflammatory. And you need some inflammation in your body.
Right.
So if you've got a bacteria or a pathogen, you get a cold, whatever, omega-6 is involved in the inflammation pathway that helps you heal from it.
Oh, wow.
So we need inflammation because that's what helps us heal. That's the short version. But at the moment, the ratio that we're seeing in the Western world is that we've got way too much omega-6 and not enough omega-3.
Right.
So that's where I'm like,
That's why it's
let's
on
look at food
supplement.
sources.
Yeah.
Well, no, I would look to the source first.
Right.
So for me, all of my meat is pasture raised. It's not organic, but it is pasture raised.
Right.
It's humanely raised as well. That's very important to me. I was vegetarian for 7 years for a reason. So yeah, it's humanely raised, it's pasture raised, it's got no growth hormones in it, it's got no antibiotics being used. So we're not feeding that to ourselves, right? So that's what I use for meat. And then when it comes to supplementation, I tend to use that for deficiency.
Right. So if you have deficiency, then you use it.
Yeah, so I'm not one to immediately start giving out supplements. I think supplements should be targeted.
Yeah.
I think they should be for a specific reason.
Oh, wow.
And we won't always know from a test, but I can tell clinically if somebody might be deficient in it from their diet, from their absorption, from just the way they talk, the way they behave, from their skin tone, right? There's lots of things that I can read that way to know, okay, where are we, what pathway are we going down? Do we need some supplements?
You know the NR, yeah.
And recently, yesterday I saw a client, she was on her 6th session with me, and it's the first time I've given her a supplement. And she's like, oh my God, I can't believe we've got to session 6 before I've needed supplementation. I'm like, well, because you didn't know how to eat. I had to teach you how to eat and get the foundations in. And I do think supplements can be really worthwhile if you're actually feeling a symptom straight off the bat. If I can see somebody's low in energy or something, then I might give a supplement to help with that so that it increases their energy so that they've got the energy to make the food in the first place. And they're that bad.
Right.
So it really depends on the client. Very individualized. I don't really jump on the bandwagon of everybody needs a certain supplement, with the exception of vitamin D. because in the winter months in Canada, you definitely should supplement it.
Right. And when you talk about vitamin D and omega and all of the, how much magnesium, like how does that, there's so much talk out there again, social media, filled with lots of information. Yeah.
So, well, I don't.
What is magnesium? I mean, how do you get that in general?
How do you
Like,
get it?
Yeah, your routine meal.
Dark chocolate, dark leafy greens, that kind of thing.
Right.
Like it's in the food that you eat.
Right.
Again, depending on the source of the food, like there's certain foods that I would only buy organic and some that I wouldn't. Like there's the Clean 15 and the Dirty Dozen. Gosh, we could be here all day. But yeah, so like it's in your food sources. It's just that often with magnesium, we do see that people aren't getting enough of it, but that's because they're not eating the food
Those things.
in the first place.
Right.
So I've had people come in, they're on magnesium, and it's because they said, well, everybody's deficient in magnesium. I'm like, how do you know that?
Yeah.
Like,
Because
you don't know that.
Yeah.
You can't know that somebody is magnesium deficient. I can't sit here and tell you you're magnesium deficient, so you should start taking a supplement.
Right.
I don't believe in that. I would figure it out for a client, but, to say, you're saying to me how much magnesium to supplement with, I can't tell you that because I haven't figured it out for you.
Right.
And everybody is different.
Right.
There are definitely recommended daily amounts, RDAs.
Yeah.
But you're hopefully getting a lot of that from your food. So then I'm not going to.
So what are the foods? I mean, why dark chocolate is one of
the two of the top ones.
Two of the top ones.
I'm not great at remembering what nutrients are in what foods, and the reason for that is because I studied how the human body works. And you can Google.
Okay.
What nutrients are in. Like I don't know the nutrient profile of an avocado. I know it has some really great
Oh my gosh, avocado! Like people talk, it has fat. I mean, I love avocado, right? I mean, but then again, when you go for a weight loss journey, you have to be mindful how much you eat or avocado oil. I'm like, there's again so much double information.
There's mechanisms in the body
Right.
that can stop you over consuming when you're eating whole foods.
Right.
Generally speaking, for fats, I would say just about a thumb's worth for each meal.
Right.
Would probably be enough.
Right.
Depending on the person. But what I love about using hands for portion sizes,
Yeah, I would like to
they're
know how to do
appropriate.
that. Yeah.
Well, they're appropriate for you, right? So
Okay.
my hands are appropriate for me.
Palm, basically.
So I would say a palm of protein,
Yeah.
palm of complex carbohydrates,
Okay.
and a full hand of vegetables.
Okay.
That
So
would
that
be
should be
your
the
plan.
balanced meal.
That's
For your
that's
supper.
a balanced meal, and then the fat is about your thumb's worth.
So are you talking one meal like that?
I
Or
like
two
I would
times a day?
I would want lunch and dinner to look like that as a minimum. I think realistic. Ideally, we'd have it 3 times a day.
Right.
Realistically,
Okay.
that's pretty tough to do because who wants to have vegetables?
When
for
are you
breakfast?
then?
I mean, there are ways of doing it. Omelets are great.
Yeah.
Spinach and mushrooms and things, and tomatoes and bell peppers in omelets, and then you're getting vegetables at breakfast time. But most people are in a rush on their workday mornings, so they want things that are quick and easy. And so usually it's like yogurt and granola with fruit. And then the choice of granola and the choice of the yogurt is
Yeah, granola too, right? I mean,
because some granolas are full of
Sugar.
refined carbohydrates,
Wow.
and other granolas are full of really good healthy foods. Like you can find granolas that are made more so out of nuts, so then you're getting like fats and protein from the nuts, and then you're getting yogurt that has protein and fat in it as well, and there'll be some sugar from the fruit, so that's your complex carbohydrate. And that's how you balance kind of a breakfast. And oatmeal is a really popular one as well. But adding protein and stuff and fruit and stuff to oatmeal
balance
is really
it.
healthy to balance it out. And we're always looking for a balance.
right.
The body is constantly striving for homeostasis, which means balance.
Yeah, I mean, if you have oatmeal, then you might need something else to help you digest too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's always about finding balance, but also about fitting it into your life.
Right.
Because I could tell you what the perfect diet's going to be, but it's not going to work for you.
Yeah. And everyone is different.
Everyone is different. Everyone's lifestyle is different.
Right.
And I haven't met a single person as an adult who isn't feeling the pressure of a busy lifestyle.
I can imagine. Yeah.
So
One way or the
you
other.
have to fit it in.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think you have to be mindful of that as well. And I think I've met too many people in my field who expect perfection from people, and it's like, you're not going to get that. You can't give somebody a 7-day meal plan. You give somebody a 7-day meal plan, you're giving them 21 meals that they've potentially never had, don't know how to cook.
Yeah.
It's not realistic.
Right. Yeah.
So then how do we make it sustainable? Is what are you eating already? How can we tweak that so that it becomes part of your daily life?
Basically, yeah. Yeah.
And then it's working from there. So when somebody comes to see me and they expect to do one session and walk away, I'm like, that's not how this works.
Right. Yeah.
And most people who come to see me, they come to see me because they've tried everything.
And that.
Yeah, they've gotten to a point of like, I don't know what to do anymore.
Right.
I've done everything that social media's told me to do. I've read every blog. I've even had people who've come to me after seeing other nutritionists because I just have a bit of a different approach.
Right.
And I seem to be able to make it work.
But I definitely agree with you. Like, you have to fit in those habits in your life, day-to-day life, because everybody is different. And then you can do temporary diet, like you can do no carbs, low carbs, maybe 2-3 months. But after that, you will need carbs. And then when you take carbs, how many times we have heard, like, you go for diet plan, you lose 20 pounds, and then you're back to your routine and you gain maybe 30 pounds, so your life bounce back.
This is
right? So it's not part of your routine until you implement
It's
that.
not just about routine anyway, though. These diets that are put in place are often not sustainable because you end up nutrient deficient.
Right. Yeah.
So low carb, you end up carbohydrate deficient.
You'll feel low all the time.
Feel all these symptoms. So then your body has amazing mechanisms that forces you to eat the things that it needs you to eat to keep functioning. And unfortunately, a lot of junk foods can keep you functioning because what essentially the body is looking for every day is energy.
Yeah.
And we make energy from sugar.
Yes, that's another thing.
So when you're like, this is why I love complex carbohydrates, because you're still getting the glucose, which is sugar, from it.
Yeah.
That we use to make energy. So when you release glucose into the bloodstream, insulin gets released.
Right.
Insulin uptakes that glucose into the cell, and it can go one of two ways. It can be converted into ATP, which is the current energy molecule that you're using at any given moment, or it gets stored as glycogen in the liver. When that's full, it becomes fat. But I'm not just talking about the energy that I'm using to go for a run or run around after children. I'm talking about the energy that I'm using to function my lungs, to function my liver, to make my heart pump blood around my body, to make my brain function. I will just say that it's a different mechanism to use glucose for brain function, so it's not insulin dependent, but it's still relying on glucose.
Right. Yeah.
So the body will force you to find something. And if there's sugar in a refined product,
Yeah.
and it's handy,
Yeah. And you don't have
there's no
time.
willpower over that.
Yeah.
Like people talk about having willpower over these hormones.
Yeah.
Well, hormones are there to make you do something. You're not supposed to have willpower over them.
Right.
You're not supposed to be able to stop yourself from feeling hungry. You're hungry because your cells need nutrients.
And willpower, fasting is another thing people talk about.
Yes.
After sugar, we're going to touch that.
I think the thing is like, what for me, I don't really ever let myself get hungry anymore. As an ex-bulimic, I know that if I let myself get starving, it could trigger me, and that is just something I have to be aware of, and that's why individualized nutrition is really important, because that's recognizing something in me that I need to do. But I generally think as long as you're eating at least breakfast, lunch, dinner, and maybe getting a couple of snacks in there, if you need them, then we'd all be a lot better off. We'd all have much better balanced blood sugar, And that's like the starting point of the day, because that's where your energy comes from.
Right.
And your energy is used for so many different things.
Oh, I'm
It's used to make hormones, it's used to make enzymes, it's used to make, like, so enzymes are there to help you break down the foods into their nutrients, and then the nutrients get absorbed, and then they get used to do the functions that they're there to do. I can't say one particular one.
Right.
There's all different things that nutrients are used for. But the body needs energy in order to make that happen, right? So
Right.
then it will, if your option is nothing or Reese's Pieces, and you've got no energy left,
Right.
you're going for the Reese's Pieces.
Correct. Yeah.
But if you have Reese's Pieces, or say an apple and some nuts,
Then you'll go for that.
that's
I think
the
most
goal.
of the people
I mean,
should
there
go
are
for that.
people who will still go for Reese's Pieces, absolutely. But if you choose, tell you what, if you're going to have the Reese's Pieces, have the apple and nuts first.
Right.
That's
So that's how you
advice
can
that I
control your
use.
craving.
Yes.
Yeah. Willpower comes there.
You'd be shocked at how many clients come to me and they're like, my worst thing is that I snack in the evening.
Oh my gosh, I get that a lot from people that even I'm one of those. I try sometimes one of those days when I'm pretty disciplined. Try to be very disciplined with my eating habits.
So what is the problem with snacking in the evening?
I myself diagnose myself maybe stress eating at times,
Okay.
right? Or just you are watching TV late night and then you want to have something to munch on maybe at that point of time. But mostly bread too, like it has, your lifestyle and your work and everything that somehow plays a major role.
Okay.
But
So for me though, I look at it differently.
yeah,
I'm like, why are you snacking in the evening? Because you haven't had enough nutrients throughout the day.
but I do try to have it.
You try. I see that's different,
Yeah.
right?
But I don't even know if I have
That you don't know.
Right, I don't
Because
know.
this is the problem. People don't know
Yeah,
that they're undernourished.
correct. Yeah,
We haven't been taught this in school.
right.
No, do you know that doctors learn 30 minutes to 2 hours of nutrition at Harvard Medical School?
Many doctors are gonna feel, okay, what's happening here?
Like that's
Yeah.
like unbelievable. It's something that's so foundational for the body to function, and it's not their fault that they haven't been taught it. It wasn't my fault that I didn't get taught it. I went and learnt about it, and I'm not judging people for not learning about it. Like, we weren't told that this was important. It's the same as nobody gets taught about finances in school and how to manage
Those
money.
are the basic things. I know
these things
how
that
to
we need
make
to
money, but
know.
you don't know how to manage. What are you gonna do with it? Yeah.
Right? These are the things that we should be being taught,
Yeah.
and we're not. So, when you're not being taught something, there was I'm sure you've heard of the Diary of a CEO podcast. I think his name's Stephen Warren. Stevenson. Anyway, he was interviewing a Harvard medical doctor, and I haven't watched the whole thing. I rarely do. But there was a snippet of the podcast, and she was asked how much nutrition training she does.
Yeah.
It did in medical school, and she said 30 minutes. About the same on perimenopause and menopause.
That's another big thing. Yeah.
And so you're just like, well, if they don't know, that's not actually their fault.
Yeah.
What I would hope is that they're open to learning about it. But that's different for different people. There are plenty of MDs now who are going out and learning functional medicine because they're realizing that the protocols aren't working.
Right.
And I am not against Western medicine. I have massive respect for it. If it wasn't for Western medicine, me and my daughter would not be alive today.
Right.
If I cut my leg off or if I'm having a heart attack, I'm going to the hospital. Like, I'm not saying that I wouldn't use Western medicine. I do.
Yeah.
But I think when it comes to these chronic health conditions that they're medicating for, and the medication may cause some other kind of side effect that can become a problem when we're not actually dealing with the foundations of why it's happened in the first place.
Right. Yeah. The source.
Yeah, always the root cause.
Root cause.
You asked about fasting.
Correct. Oh my gosh. Don't eat after 6, which is fine. I mean, I believe in that a lot, not late eating and, once you're done with your supper, do not eat after that. But I don't do, unless there is a reason, like, some,
So there
there is
is
something fasting, that's different. But I know there are people, they say, You shouldn't eat, you shouldn't eat after 6 and then eat your first meal next day by noon.
A long time without nutrients.
Yeah.
It's a long time for the body to go out.
Right.
And I think that we've got into this stage in society of we have to restrict ourselves, otherwise we must be doing it wrong.
Kind of willpower.
Like with the whole, I'm going to use the 5 a.m. club as an example. Every entrepreneur wants to be part of the 5 a.m. club. They want to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning, all this time before they start their day to do their journaling and the meditation or whatever it is that they're choosing to do.
Yeah.
And that's awesome. What time are you going to bed if you join the 5 a.m. club? Because I guarantee the people who are in the 5 a.m. club are going to bed at 8:30. You can't do both.
Yeah. You have to have either or. You can't go to bed by 11.
And then get up at 5.
Yeah. You're
That's
gonna
only 6 hours of sleep. Most people need a minimum of 7.
Correct.
The average, it's between 7 to 9 hours. If you're needing more than 9, that would be a signal to me that something's not right. But 7 to 9 is the average. Women need more sleep than men. There is evidence to support that. But 7 hours is a really great amount of sleep. And if you're going to bed at 11 o'clock at night and getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning, then at some point you're going to end up running out of steam. Whether you might be able to consistently do that for 5 or 6 days. But it's like we think sleep isn't important anymore.
Right.
And everybody's tired. And then they're complaining that they don't, I need more sleep. Well, then go to bed and sleep.
That's the simplest solution. And actually, than coffee.
But we feel good. My point being is that we feel good after we've had a good amount of sleep, right?
Right.
We wake up, we feel refreshed.
Yeah.
We feel good. We feel like we're able to do our day. For some reason, we feel like if we feel that good, then we must be doing something wrong. We've almost demonized
Had a guilt
sleep.
factor.
There's guilt over having enough sleep.
Yeah, I do hear that a lot from people.
Yeah, you need sleep. Sleep is when your body regenerates.
Yeah.
You need it. It's when most of our detoxification is going on in the liver. We need the sleep. And with fasting, there is a lot of evidence to support that it speeds up autophagy. But autophagy is a mechanism that happens anyway. So autophagy is the process where we get rid of dead cells, essentially, which does need to happen, but the body does it automatically. So unless there's a specific reason, I don't see where the benefit of speeding it up is. Why do we need to speed it up? Maybe it's connected to a disease. That's different. If you're coming to me with a specific disease and fasting supports that, then that's a rethink. Again, that's individualized.
Right. Yeah.
But then we see things on Pinterest or whatever app saying women of the age of 35 to 55 should be fasting between 6 p.m. and noon or forever, however many hours. I'm like, really? Where's the literature to support that?
Right. Yeah. But there's so much misinformation out there.
There's so much misinformation because most of the studies, the last time I looked into fasting, and I haven't reviewed the evidence for a couple of years. Life is busy. Last time that I reviewed the evidence, there was no studies done on women.
Right.
It was done on
Perhaps
men.
they need more nutrition at times after 40, 45 for other health issues that they...
You know, fasting, in my opinion, slows down your metabolism.
Correct.
Because your body wants to hold on to the nutrients it has got, or it wants to hold on to the fat that it's got because it can convert it into energy.
Right.
So that's why short-term restricting works, because it's turning the fat cells that you've got into energy, which is what the body needs. But ultimately, we're telling people you should be fasting without really having any reason behind it. And we live in a world where it's almost impossible to fast. Okay, yes, maybe in the Paleolithic days people fasted. I don't know if the women did. They were the foragers, right? Men might have fasted because they were off for days hunting, looking for something.
Right.
But generally speaking, the women were foraging locally. They might have been eating. We don't. I don't know. I haven't read. There might be.
Right.
Somebody might be able to prove me wrong on that one. But this is where we go to. Well, if they did it in paleo days, we don't live in paleo days anymore.
Right. Yeah.
We live in an environment where you can buy a candy bar at every store and every petrol station that you go to.
Right. Yeah.
So why are we making it so hard on ourselves?
True.
And we also have a lot of social constructs about the way we're supposed to look. Right?
That is another pressure why people go for all of these different routes.
Exactly. And somebody who might be a perfectly healthy size for their body might be on some crazy diet because they're trying to get the latest trend. Bodies do not care about trends.
Yeah.
You know, we went through an amazing trend of like, get strong, get healthy, and women were getting stronger,
Yeah.
and men too. Men have always been encouraged to be strong, but it started to be that women were encouraged to be strong too. Now we're seeing this trend come back. If you look at celebrities like Ariana Grande right now, she's skin and bone, and it's really upsetting. But this is the trend that we're currently showing young girls.
Yep.
You want to be like Ariana Grande, stop eating, get skinny.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you're not fueling your body, you're not nourishing it.
Right.
You do that. So bodies don't care about trends. Bodies just want to stay healthy.
Right.
And if there's one thing that I can say, it's that if your body is asking you for something, listen.
Right.
If it's showing you symptoms, listen. If you're craving something, listen.
Correct.
Because there's something that it needs. There's stories of pregnant women craving chalk.
Oh yeah.
They're not actually craving chalk. They're craving the nutrients that are inside
Out of
that's in the chalk. Right. So the magnesium, whatever is in the chalk.
Right.
The baby that is trying to develop
Right.
is forcing that craving on the mother. And there's probably a food source for it.
Right. Yeah.
Well, there will be a food source for it, but the craving is there because it's trying to let you know I need this.
Right.
So I've gotten to the point after, what are we now, 11 years of me eating the way that I do. I know which foods I need. I'll get a craving, the specifics. Like to the point that it's like, I need chicken right now.
Oh wow.
And chicken has tyrosine in it. And tyrosine is a precursor for thyroid hormone.
Oh wow.
I have a
That's
slow
how you
functioning
figure it
thyroid.
out. So when you feel like something, like you want to eat something, something out of that.
But if you're looking for a junk food, if you're looking for a junk food,
sugar,
it's probably the junk food,
Yeah.
in the junk food.
Yeah.
So because the food industry has spent billions of dollars researching the perfect amount of sugar, fat, and salt, sugar, fat, and salt to hit dopamine receptors, so that you keep coming back for more. So that you keep coming back for more. Because dopamine is your anticipatory hormone, or if it's your reward hormone, if it's your reward hormone. I can't remember off the top of my head. But it's basically when you keep hitting dopamine receptors, it's like with anything, you want more of that feeling. You want more of that feeling. Dopamine feels really good. So then, if you're hitting that dopamine, more next time, you need more to get the same impact. So these foods have been designed deliberately to hit that receptor. To hit that receptor.
It's like eating popcorn when you're watching movies.
There's some popcorn's fine. There's some
good.
popcorn. There's popcorn itself is fine. Popcorn itself is fine. It's way from
But just the crunch. You know, some people go crave for it. Right?
Yeah.
I mean,
But like,
I don't have it like with somebody having popcorn in the evening while they watch a movie.
but I would probably encourage them to have something protein,
to have something
Yeah.
protein
with it to slow down the release of blood.
sugars.
right. So when we talk about protein, let me touch base a little bit about the workout.
Okay.
Right? So a lot of people do work out, and many people, hopefully they're working out. But what is your take on it post-workout and pre-workout? What should be the eating habit that you should be mindful? Because it goes to your muscles too.
Yeah, so it depends on what your goal is.
But in general,
Ideally,
Yeah.
you would be having a protein meal within 45 minutes of doing work.
within 45 minutes, so post-workout you should have protein.
Yeah. You also, I don't really believe in working out fasted either. So if you're working out at 6 o'clock in the morning, I'd be having a snack before that workout.
So before and after, is that what you suggest?
Yeah, I mean, it depends on what time your workout is.
Yeah.
So if you're doing workout at 6 a.m., then you're not going to want a full breakfast before
Right.
that.
Yeah.
You're going to have like maybe half a banana and some nut butter. And that gives you some nutrients for the workout, gives you some energy for the workout. You'll get much more efficacy out of your body. when you've got something fueling it. So give it some fuel to do the workout and then sit down and have a balanced breakfast. But if your workout's at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, you've probably had lunch a couple of hours beforehand.
So you should avoid
So you're
that.
fine.
Yeah, right.
You know, you might want a snack again if you're working out after dinner. That's fine. I'm not a sports nutritionist, so it's not what I specialize in. And I would have to think about, like, if you've had dinner and then you do your workout, I would say you've probably had enough protein throughout the day.
Right,
It doesn't have to be straight after.
right,
Yeah, I would need to come back to you on that one, I think.
Right.
But essentially, I think my biggest thing is try not to work out when you haven't had anything at all.
Oh, wow.
That would be the priority for me. And the reason for that is when your nervous system gets used to not having any food, you can remain in constant fight or flight, which is a stress response. And when you're in that fight or flight response, a lot of your energy, nutrients, etc., are going towards your arms, legs, and respiratory system because it was designed that way so that you could run away from a saber-toothed tiger. So when you work out fasted, you're already in that stress response. So then when you eat afterwards, your absorption might be affected because you're stressed.
right.
Like your energy and your nutrients are not going to your digestive system to break stuff down properly. And that's where I often see how stress impacts digestion because you're potentially making less stomach acid to break down nutrients, your motility slows down as well. So it really does impact digestion, stress.
Right.
So that's why I try to avoid people being in a stressed state for the most part. But we've got to remember that the people that I'm dealing with are already in a dysregulated body state. So this might be different advice if you're 20 years old and not stressed and specifically looking to achieve a certain sports goal, because I'm not a sports nutritionist. But for the people that I generally work with, their bodies are already under enough stress.
Right.
Psychologically,
35.
also physiologically.
Right. Yeah.
Like, so somebody who's carrying way too much weight, that's a physiological stressor on the body. So the body's already under that stress load, and I'm trying to avoid adding more stress.
Wow. Yeah.
It's so important though, eating healthy and having enough, everything like protein, vitamins, minerals, fiber, carbs in your day-to-day life.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, it's all important.
It's all connected. It's connected with your health and your mental health as well. At when, you feel less stress, or like you said, you don't crave for other junk food
Yeah.
either, right?
This is the most interesting thing I see is that once I get people eating breakfast, lunch, dinner, and a couple of snacks, their evening cravings just disappear.
I agree. Yeah.
So that is one of the things that comes to me the most is evening cravings. And that one in particular is usually fixed within a few weeks. Because
This is then you have enough throughout the day, so you do not crave for that. Yeah. So true.
that's why it works. And I'm not coming at this from somebody who hasn't had life experience or health.
You yourself have had a journey, right? And that actually helps you to guide your client because
Yeah, because I'm not restrictive around things as well.
Right.
Like if somebody says, I don't know if I can do that, I'm like, okay, so what can we do? What's going to work?
Right. Yeah.
Like you can't just expect everybody to be the same and do the exact same thing. It doesn't work like that.
Right. Yeah.
So taking into consideration that person and what they've struggled with. But also I think a lot of what I do is testing as well.
Right.
And what I find is no matter the sex, like male or female, people come to me and they're very self-blaming.
Oh.
They're like, I know this is my fault. I'm like, do you? Is it? Is it really? There's a lot of shame around it as well. And then I have to like re-educate them around that too.
Wow. Yeah.
And that can often lead into testing because I have people who are resistant to testing because they honestly believe that if they just did one more thing better, then all of this would go away. I'm like, we've got to the point where your diet is actually really good. Now we know it's something underlying, and we need to find out what that underlying cause is.
Right.
So we do the foundational stuff first,
Right.
if they haven't already got it in place.
Right. Yeah.
And then it's figuring out
What else?
what is going on underneath. Because I was doing everything right with the guidance for nutritionist, and it wasn't working.
Oh, okay.
And that's because I hadn't had the testing done to find out the root cause.
Right.
And then when I found out the root cause, that's when I was able to change things, because with autoimmunity, there can be a lot of foods that are causing an issue. And my gut lining was broken down, right? I had leaky gut. And so food particles were moving into my bloodstream where they shouldn't have been. And that's what's causing this chronic, inflammation. Chronic inflammation, for me, attacks my thyroid.
Right. Yeah.
So I had to figure out what those things that were causing
Right.
the inflammation were. So once I had done that, that's when my body started to regulate. And I would, in 6 months, lost 11 inches off of my waist.
Oh, wow. Good transition.
Yeah. I mean, it's all because of nutrition. Nothing. I still don't take any medications for hypothyroidism.
Right.
People are often shocked when I say I'm hypothyroid.
Yeah.
But it's because I know how to manage it, and I know what to do on a daily basis to make my life function. And I'm talking like an RX bar in my bag at all times. Like, I don't leave
Right.
the house without.
I heard about that. Yeah. I'm gonna explore that for sure. Yeah.
But just so that I'm never in a situation where I have to grab the candy bar.
Right.
I don't really want it.
Right.
But if I do have it, I forgive myself. Saturday afternoon was a friend's birthday, and we went to Byler Mountain and went zip lining and
Fun.
climbing through the trees. It was an amazing afternoon. I was terrified, but it was amazing.
I know.
And I got there and I realised that I hadn't had a snack. And it was 3:00. And I hadn't brought one with me. I'd had a busy morning with work, and it fell out of my head. So it happens to me too.
Right.
And I was like, I'm not going to get through this. And they had chocolate bars in the back, and it was Aero and Reese's Pieces and all the junk.
Right.
And I thought, what is the least negative out of those ones? What can I have?
Worst of.
What's the best of a bad bunch? That's the word I'm looking for. What's the best of the bad bunch? And I ended up with the Aero.
Yeah.
It didn't have any gluten in it, and it didn't have no, it just didn't have gluten in it. The others all had gluten.
So Aero is a better choice than the other ones.
Well, I'm celiac, so I can't have gluten.
Yeah.
Right? But so yes, an Aero has less stuff than the others did.
Right.
It still was high fructose corn syrup. It's still not something I would normally choose.
Yeah.
If there had been a bar there that had nuts in it, I would have chosen the bar with the nuts in it, because
Right.
the protein and fat in the nuts would have balanced out the sugar a little bit. But I didn't have that option. So I had the Aero. I didn't feel guilty about it.
Yeah.
That's the problem a lot of people have is as soon as they have something that they consider bad for them, they feel guilty about it. And they're like, well, I've wasted it all now. Might as well just eat what I want. And it's like, you've had one chocolate bar. And so now you're like, I'm just going to eat whatever I want because I had one chocolate bar.
Right.
It's like, you don't have to wait for the next day to eat healthy again. You don't have to wait for the next week. You don't have to wait till January 1st
Right.
to eat healthily.
Yeah.
The next meal you choose,
Can be
or the next
ruler.
snack you choose,
Yeah.
can feed your health.
Right. Yeah. That's really good tip actually for people out there.
Just go back.
I know. Yeah. You shouldn't have a guilty factor. I mean, yeah, it's something you don't want to go for, but
Yeah,
maybe the next one. No one.
exactly.
Yeah.
So
True. Let's have some fun questions.
okay.
Okay. Okay. I think I know the answer, but I'm going to ask you. Is breakfast really the most important meal of the day?
Important.
I think they're all important, very important. Because very important. It means breaking fast. It means breaking
You
fast.
fasted overnight.
You fasted
Yeah.
overnight.
So you're breaking
Yeah.
the fast.
So you're breaking the fast.
It's not just that it's not just
an
that
important
it's
meal.
It's
An important
the
meal. It's
component parts
the
of it.
component
that make
parts
it
of it
important.
that
How
make
you
it
start
important.
day
your
off and
day off, and
you believe in eating within
you believe in
an hour
eating
to 90
within
minutes of
an hour to
waking.
90 minutes of
Because your
waking.
body needs
Right.
that.
Because your
energy
body
and
needs
nutrients
that
to keep
energy
going.
and nutrients to keep going
Okay.
throughout the day.
Okay. What are the three simple food swaps people can make for a healthier lifestyle? Maybe more, but maybe more.
So well, it depends on what they would normally choose, right? If you're going to choose something like a chocolate bar, like I did with the Hero, try choosing a bar that actually has seeds in it, having a side of nuts and seeds with the chocolate, because then you're slowing down that sugar release. That's a good one. I always feel like when somebody's on quite a food diet, it depends on where they're at. Because like if you're telling somebody chocolate bar for an apple, it's like,
Would that really work?
it's like, would that work?
They're already in the bar.
So upgrading to a better quality. So better quality. So upgrade your chocolate. So upgrade your chocolate. So an arrow. Next time you have a 60% milk chocolate bar, but have it with herbal tea, because it changes the mouthfeel. Makes it taste creamier. And then I think chips is a big one here. Which in England they're called crisps. We do have them for sure. I don't hear as many. Oh my god, I can't live without them. So if you're gonna have chips, upgrade the brand to one that is made with avocado oil instead of fried canola oil.
That's something to look out for.
And again, pairing it with a protein, because it is a carbohydrate, and it's a carbohydrate.
So carb and protein should align together. So when you have carbs, you should make sure you have protein in your plate.
Yeah, that's the best way to balance.
That's where my another question. Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Fiber and fat also slow it down, but I think protein we need to build our lives around.
Right. So that's the most essential thing to have.
They're all essential.
Okay. Another question coming along that line. What does a balanced plate actually look like? Like balance, I know you covered your palm.
With your palm, it would be a palm worth of protein, carbohydrates on this side of your hand, and then vegetables, non-starchy vegetables. So starchy vegetables are complex carbohydrates. So things like potato, butternut squash, acorn squash, they actually come under complex carbs. Things like broccoli, Brussels sprouts, spinach, tomatoes, bell peppers, cabbage, onion, garlic, they come under your half a plate of veg. And then if you're having a salad, pouring extra virgin olive oil on it would be a good fat, or half an avocado would be a great fat to have. So, and also paying attention to your body's cues as to what you need.
Okay. Can healthy eating still be enjoyable and realistic for families? I think I know the answer. It has to be. Should be your lifestyle, actually. Yeah, I agree with you.
I can't stand boring food.
I know. Yeah,
I'm a foodie.
Yeah,
I really enjoy
it can be flavorful for sure.
Yeah, like adding flavour is what's going to keep people keeping it sustainable. So I think it's not a case of can it be. I think it has to be.
Yeah, it should be fun too. Yeah.
And tacos are fun. And what's wrong with if you want to have tacos, then have the corn tortilla shell that doesn't come from GMO corn. Choose the grass-fed beef over the westernized beef. Choose organic cheese to shred on top of it. Choose putting bell peppers or a salad on the side, things like that. You can still have the tacos, just have some vegetables on the side or a salad.
Right. Balance, basically, again. Yeah. Okay, what are the common mistakes people make when they try to lose weight?
Calorie counting.
Calorie counting, you shouldn't do that. How many calories do you need generally for a day? I know the height. I know the disclaimer.
Okay, well, I'll using me as probably above average, because I'm 5'6" and 150 pounds ish. I don't really know because I haven't weighed myself for 10 years. And I think when the last time I checked my BMR, it was 1342, and that was just to make myself breathe in bed. That's your basal metabolic rate is what you need just to stay alive and functioning.
Okay.
So I wouldn't go under your BMR.
No.
Because usually we're busy and doing stuff. So I don't like calorie counting because I don't believe it to be sustainable. I would rather support the body with the nutrients it needs. The body isn't working against you. It doesn't hate you. It's not trying to be fat, as most women do tend to.
That's a good way of thinking, actually.
It actually really wants to be healthy. It wants to be regulated, and it will, once you start nourishing it and the nervous system feels safe and it's getting the nutrients it needs, it will regulate at a healthy weight for you. Does that mean that you're as skinny as some celebrity that's gone overboard? No, not necessarily, but the weight that it wants to be for your health, which is a different goal.
Well, when you're healthy, you look good, you feel good, and it changes everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good. Organic versus non-organic. Does it really matter?
Yes. So there are two lists for vegetables called the Clean 15 and the Dirty Dozen. And the Dirty Dozen is the Environmental Working Group reviews it every year, so it might change slightly. But the Dirty Dozen are the vegetables that are most chemically sprayed and porous, so hold on to more of the pesticides. So I would buy organic. That's anything on the Dirty Dozen list. So spinach, cherry tomatoes, peaches, apples, they're on the Dirty Dozen.
Yeah.
So I would buy those organic.
Yeah.
But then for the Clean 15, which is going to be like avocados and bananas, the things with thicker skin,
Yeah.
they're on the Clean 15. I would buy those non-organic mainly because of budget, right?
Right.
Like if I had millions and I could buy everything organic, I might. But I also think it can be wasteful. Nuts, I don't think necessarily need to be organic, but I do think they need to be in glass jars, like a nut butter.
Right.
It needs to be in glass jars. And that's because plastic is lipophilic, so meaning that the fats will draw in potentially the plastics from the container into your food.
You get most of the nuts in the plastic bags, plastic packaging, most of them.
Yeah, so I avoid that.
No. Okay. Avoid that. Very black.
Like you can go to Bulk Barn and get a glass container and get your fill from there.
Okay.
They will have been sitting at plate. You can't be perfect. I'm not looking for perfection. I'm looking for the best route. And for me, I wouldn't buy a nut butter or a mayonnaise or an olive oil in a plastic.
Correct.
I would buy it in a glass because it's sitting in its container for the longest period.
Interesting.
But yeah, the organic, I don't even do, as I said, I don't do organic meat. I do grass-fed. Really would do organic grains though. Rice, I would really buy organic.
Okay. Perfect. How important is hydration? And how much water should one actually drink per day?
Based on the person. So different people, different sizes, they all need different amounts. That's really hard to say. They do say the average person needs about 2 litres.
2 liters.
Yeah, but if you find yourself peeing every 5 minutes, then maybe that's too much for you.
Yeah.
The best way to tell is actually the colour of your urine.
Color of your?
Urine.
Are you really? Oh, wow.
Yeah, so if you look at your urine and it's bright yellow or dark yellow, you're dehydrated. If you look at it and it's nice and pale and you can barely see any yellow in it, then you're very well hydrated.
Oh, wow.
And your body is 60% water, I believe.
60 or 70%.
Something like that, yeah. So it's there's different ranges. Some say 60, some say 80.
Yeah.
It is a lot of water. So
more water.
That's what helps your blood move around, right? And blood is how nutrients get to your cells. So yes, hydration is very important.
Interesting.
And it depends on what you're thinking about in terms of hydration as well.
Water,
because
yeah.
if you're just talking about water, that's fine. But then there's a lot of electrolyte drinks.
Yeah.
And if you're doing a 90-minute workout outdoors in the boiling heat, then yes, you might need an electrolyte drink. Generally speaking, regular filtered water has enough electrolytes in it, and you also get electrolytes from food.
Right. Okay. If you open someone's kitchen, what ingredients would you hope to see? What one should have, must have?
Pantry must-haves. Okay, so extra virgin olive oil for pouring, avocado oil or coconut oil for cooking.
Yeah.
Nuts and seeds. If we're just talking about pantry, like dry foods, nuts, seeds, lentils, and nut butters in glass jars. Canned tuna is a really good one to have because it's a really easy, quick protein source. And then ideally grass-fed meat and vegetables. I was going to say vegetables and fruit. Spicy storage. Yeah. You can do frozen vegetables as well, though.
Yeah, what would you say, frozen or the fresh ones? Like, I mean, they're really
Must taste that much. The other thing, the frozen, fresh is nicer if you're like wanting a salad or roasting cauliflower, right? If you roast frozen cauliflower, it comes out kind of gross.
Yeah.
But actually, frozen vegetables are picked and frozen at source. So they're actually more likely to be nutrient dense.
Oh, is that right?
But you have to take flavour into consideration as well.
Interesting. Good. How can busy professionals maintain healthy eating habits? And busy professional people, they can maintain the busy.
It's been so long that I've been doing it. I think that always having ingredients for healthy meals in the house really helps. I don't recipe plan at all. I don't look for recipes. I throw it together, kind of cook. So I think for me, the key thing is, are all the food groups on my plate?
Yeah.
Do you want to pull? Are all the food groups on the plate? Have we got protein? Have we got complex carbohydrates? Have we got fat? And have we got vegetables? And that can be as easy as a bento box with boiled eggs, raw carrots, tomatoes, bell peppers, snap peas, etc. Maybe some whole grain crackers, maybe some chunks of cheese or meat pre-cooked like chicken, etc. It doesn't have to be as complicated as we make it out to be. I can get dinner on the table in under 15 minutes.
All right. So having all the ingredients there.
Having the ingredients
there.
to grab
Yeah.
is the most important thing. I would say that what some people struggle with though is thinking about what to do with it. So I would have like in your armor maybe 12 to 16 easy quick recipes that you're used to making that you don't have to think about. So for me, one of those is stir fry.
Yeah.
I don't think about it. I use frozen vegetables in a pan, throw in some meat, I make a quick sauce and have it over the cooked quinoa. I do it on a Sunday and it's done.
Right. Good. Okay. What are your opinions about supplements? I think we already spoke about that. And then a fun one. If nutrition had a personality, how would you describe it?
Wow. If nutrition had a personality, I think you'd be really happy.
You can tell.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
nourished people are generally happier.
Yeah.
I think they'd be a nutrient.
They're pampered well, basically.
Sorry?
They're pampered well with their food habits. They're happy.
Yeah, I think happy and just generally positive about life and engaged.
Right. Okay. One food you can't live without.
85% dark chocolate. There are like hundreds of foods that I can't live without.
But dark chocolate is one of them. So that's your cheat meal.
I don't believe in cheat meals.
Right.
Because as soon as you call it a cheat meal, you want to cheat every single day.
Right.
And if life feels restrictive,
Right.
so I don't believe in that. I have dark chocolate every single day. It has magnesium, it has polyphenols in it. That's my last thing that I do at night is have 2 squares of dark chocolate and a cup of peppermint tea, and that's how I finish my day.
Amazing.
So, we've demonized chocolate, absolutely, but the original real cocoa bean is actually pretty healthy.
Yeah.
And yeah, I do have it every day, but I also couldn't live without meat, vegetables. I literally crave the foods that I need.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good. Do you have any particular message for our audience, our viewers?
I think this doesn't need to be confusing.
Yeah.
Something that is so foundational for our health should not be this complicated.
Right. Yeah.
And if you're reading a ton of different information out there and it's not making sense to you, get yourself a nutritionist.
Perfect. And we have a good one already. Perfect. Thank you so much for your time. I really enjoyed the session. It's so much meaningful and informative. I'm sure our audience will be happy to hear you out and they need to reach out to you for more details and more.
Absolutely, they can. Thank you for having me. This was wonderful and fun.
Perfect. Yeah, thank you so much.